Hello there, you're welcome to HisGov TV. My name is Collins Nanaya Abebrese. So in this video, we are going to take a look at the importance of the study of government as a subject. And in our previous video discussion, we looked at the meaning of government. And so in case you missed that video, you can check in our playlist. You can find it over there. We did discuss the meaning of government, where we said that government could be explained in three ways. Government as a discipline of study, government as an institution of state, and government as an art. And we did explain what all these three three ways means. And so today we are continuing our lessons on government, and today we are looking at the importance, the importance of the study of government as a discipline. And that is what we are looking at today. In case you are new, I recommend you to subscribe to this channel. We are into the teaching of history, government, and religious studies. And all our lessons are based on the new curriculum which was introduced in 2024. Good. So let's take a look at the importance of government. Now, because we earlier learned that government could be explained in three ways, the same way its importance could also come in three ways. So if you study government as a discipline, whereby you study the political theories, the concept of government, the principles of government as you are doing as a student, what is the importance of that? And so that is one aspect of it. So we will first begin with importance of government as an academic discipline. So as you are learning, as we are learning government principles, concept, and so on and so forth, what do we stand to gain? Then we also take a look at the importance of government as an institution, and then also the importance of government as an art. And that will bring us to the end of our discussion. So let's begin with the first part, that is the importance of government as an academic institution. Now, the first importance of government as an academic institution is that it promotes understanding of how government works. All right. So when you study government, as we are doing as students of government, when we study government, we get to understand how the government works, the machinery of the government. We come to understand government structure and processes, the processes of the governance, and also the structure of government. So the processes that government passes through or goes through, we come to appreciate it. It helps the individual with the understanding of government policies, how they are formulated, and how and also the purpose of the policy. So when you study government as a student, you come to understand how government works in terms of the processes of governance, as I have already indicated. Then you also come to understand how government policies are formulated, the purpose of such policy, and why they are formulated. Because it is only when you can understand the policies of government that you can be able to criticize government decisions and actions, constructively. So when you study a government as a subject in school, it helps you to understand these things, and understanding these policies and government, and the process of governance will then help you to criticize government decisions and certain actions that the government takes. And this makes government responsible and also accountable to the people. And so we are saying that the knowledge of government encourages political participation and inclusive governance, which form the basis of legitimate government and democracy. So there are a lot of people today in Ghana who do not care about what the government does. They don't even understand what the government does. And so you can be able to criticize because you know the process of governance. Let me give you a typical example of what just happened when President Mahama President Mahama was sworn in. He came up with should I say, he chose some group of people that he called Operation Recover or Looted something something Aura. And some people I mean, they were criticizing that move, that why should you form another body to investigate corrupt practices? Why do you think that these people were able to criticize the government on that move? They did so because they, understand the processes of governance. What are these processes and government structures? So what are these? And they also understand how the government works because they have knowledge about it academically. The government, in fighting corruption, has agencies like the YOCO, the organized crime, and then they also have the Attorney General. Even when the special prosecutor was even instituted by Akufo-Addo, you still saw people bashing him for doing so because there are, institutions that deals with these matters. So why do you want to create another institution? You can only be able to criticize government on this front when you understand the government structure, the processes of governance, and also how government works. And you can only do so by reading and studying government as a course, as a subject, as we are doing today. So you realize that by the end of your studies as a student, you would end up criticizing government on so many things because you know the processes in which government is supposed to work. I hope you get that understanding. Let's take a look at the second reasons or importance of studying government. It also develops insights into the strengths and weaknesses of government practices. So the study of government gives an in-depth understanding of government institutions, powers, and functions. The insight gained in the study of the discipline helps identify the weaknesses and strengths of a government. This understanding is important to shaping responsible and accountable governance. So when you study government as a course or a subject, you come to study institutions. Don't forget, studying government as an academic institution, as a discipline, deals with studying certain government institutions. You study government key concepts in government. So when you study these key concepts and the functions of these organs of government or concepts, you then come to appreciate and understand government institutions better. So for instance, if the executive is doing something that you think it is not within the function of the executive, you'll be able to point it out. If the legislature is performing its duty, which you believe are not in line with the principles of governance, you would be able to, point it out because you have understood the concept of government, the key concept of government. You have learned government institutions. You have dive deep into them. And so you have come to understand what these institutions are meant for and what they are supposed to do. And so by so doing, you can be able to criticize government and even know, government strength and government weakness, what government is doing best and what government is doing worse. You can be able to know that as well. The next one is that it provides a path for career opportunities. That is also one aspect of government. Okay, so as a government student, you learn to become a critical thinker and an active, responsible citizen. The study of government helps the individual with analytical skills and an understanding of political systems and knowledge of public policies. These skills, upon completion of school, makes one pursue careers in politics, public administration, diplomacy, law, teaching, public and civil servant. So when you study government, you come to know a lot of things. You become a critical thinker. You become an active, responsible citizen, and therefore these skills that you acquire can earn you a job or a career in studying government. And it could be in politics. You could become a politician. You could become a public administrator. You could be working in foreign ministries. You could be a lawyer, a judge. You could even be a teacher. and then also public civil servants. So all these are some of the importance of studying government. The next one is that it also aids in understanding the right and responsibility of citizens. So when you study government as a student, you come to understand one's right, and if somebody's rights are being infringed upon or denial, you will be able to notice. If people's rights are violated, you will be able to notice. If the president does something that is unconstitutional, if the president or somebody does something that is against the right of an individual, you could be able to also know. One can enjoy and exercise his or her rights effectively and advocate for them when they are aware of them. As a result, the study of government helps educate and create awareness about the rights and responsibilities of citizens. Among the many rights that can be infringed are the right to vote, education, quality, healthcare, and so on and so forth. The only way that people can understand their rights and responsibilities as a people is by knowing them. And how can these people know? They can only know by learning them. So sometimes some of our politicians, sometimes they think that building or providing schools for us is a privilege, but indeed it is our right. And so you see they end up brushing these mini projects on our face as if they are doing us a favor, but the money that they are using to provide those amenities are not their salaries, they are our own money. You understand? So if people don't understand their rights and responsibilities as citizens, how can they fight for those rights? And we are saying that when you study when you study government as a course, you tend to understand your own right and what you're supposed to do as a citizen. Then the last one is encourages participation in political activities. The study of government provides an understanding of the political processes and administration of the state. This understanding helps citizens develop the desire to engage in political activities and processes such as taking part in public elections by voting or aspiring for political positions. The knowledge of government also induces patriotism by taking part fully in civic responsibilities such as communal labor, aiding law enforcement agencies like the police to arrest criminals. So it encourages you to participate in political activities such as voting, aspiring to become a leader, and even helping the police to even arrest people. You come to realize that they are the knowledge of government will then induce those patriotic spirit in taking part in all these civic responsibilities as a Ghanaian or as an individual. Okay, so you tend to take part in political activities because you come to realize that if you do not vote, somebody else will vote for you. All right, and so that is how government actually help us in if we study it as an academic course. These are some of the importance that we are likely to get. Again, let's take a look at the importance of government as an institution of the state. So as an institution of the state, that is what we are looking at. Let's take a look at the first one: security, defense, and criminal justice. The government provides security to its citizens through various law enforcement agencies, including the military, the police service, intelligence service. The military safeguards the integrity of the state by protecting its territorial boundaries in the sea by the Navy, in the territorial airspace by the Air Force, and that of the land by the Army. The police, on the other hand, ensure the internal safety in the country and of the citizens. So government as a state or as an institution of a state, whereby the affairs of the state is entrusted or is given to some group of team people or a group of people who work as a team to manage the affairs of a state. Government in that position provide security and defense as well as criminal justice for his people. So those group of people who have been tasked to manage the affairs of the state, it is their responsibility to ensure that the citizens are protected, against any external force. And so government protects, enact laws to enforce the protection of these people. And that is one important or one of the significance of one of the benefit that we get as government, as an institution of the state. Good. So when you look at some countries, in the Middle East, you realize that various governments are fighting and protecting their citizens. That is the work of government as an institution. So any government that is not doing so has failed. Let's take a look at the second importance of government as an institution. Welfare provisions. The government of Ghana must ensure equity and accessibility to essential social services. To achieve this, the Saglami Affordable Housing Project was launched along the Accra-Aflao Road to provide affordable housing for Ghanaians. Additionally, the National Health Insurance Scheme enables vulnerable citizens to access quality health care for free or at a subsidized cost. So it is the government. It is also important that government as an institution also provide welfare. The welfare of his citizens are also very paramount to government. And so government becoming a state provide these amenities. An example has been given whereby even today we can even talk of the Saglami affordable housing, where the government was building houses for citizens at a lower cost. Even though it is affordable, I wonder how affordable they are, because at the end of it they come to complain that the materials used in the building of those projects are very expensive, and so they can't sell it at a low price, but they say it's affordable. But I can bet you a lot of Ghanaians can't afford that. But of course, the health insurance scheme, NHIS, has also come to help. And so that is also one importance that we get from government as an institution. And indeed, that is what governments are supposed to do. Then the next one has to do with economic development. Okay, the government initiate policies geared towards investment in infrastructure such as roads, bridges, ports, and markets, and schools to promote economic activities such as trade for sustainable development. Ghana's economy, being agrarian in nature, can be developed through the construction of good roads connecting major towns and cities. This enables easy transportation of farm produce from the farm to the big market. So government as an institution of state also provides us with some economic policies which are geared towards growth, or geared towards improving the lives of the people. And so by so doing, economically, bridge, roads, ports and harbors, schools and co are all built in order to ensure that the economy grows. And that is one importance of government as an institution. The next one, the last one, is making laws. Government as an institution also make laws, and these laws are made by the legislature. Okay, that's parliament, and they are the people's representative. All right, the existence of laws is crucial for maintaining what? Order, because if there are no laws, I don't think there will be order or orderliness in the society. So it ensures fairness and protects the right and safety of citizens in a state, and it also regulates the behaviors. Okay, also regulate the behaviors of citizens and state institutions. It establishes standards for how people within a state should conduct themselves. And so government as a state institution also provides this law and ensuring that these laws function. They just don't provide them, because in Ghana we have so many laws, but they are not enforced. And so when the government make these laws, they should also enforce them. So that is one also importance that we get from government as an institution. The last one importance is government as an art, and the art deals with the processes, the procedures involved in the government's working processes. First one is the political inclusion. One importance is political inclusion. Understanding the way institution of state works may enable citizens to participate in political activities and exercise their rights. As a process, it involves the ability to plan, execute, and evaluate policies to make informed decisions. Understanding these government processes encourage active citizenship and empowering individuals to hold their representative accountable. This enables them to participate in shaping public policy that affect their lives. So when government as an art, as we have already indicated, that this art deals with the government processes, the processes involved, the government procedures. When you understand these government processes or how the government works, it imbibes in you that kind of patriotic spirit that you may also want to be part of that process. Okay, so it brings about political inclusion. People are geared towards taking part in these political processes. Okay, and then the last one on the importance of government as an art has to do with the workings of government. So understanding the strength and weakness of government mechanisms, rules, and procedures may encourage beneficial reforms. Understanding the operations of state machinery and government procedures is crucial for identifying areas in need of reform. Recognizing strength helps build an effective processes, whilst acknowledging weaknesses allow for targeted improvement. So when you understand government processes, or government procedures, that is when you can actually be able to identify weaknesses, all right, in the government space or in the workings of the government. And so today you realize that a lot of people are calling for the amendment of the 1992 Constitution. They are doing so basically because they have seen that government as an art, the process involved, the procedures, the mechanisms that government uses to execute its project is flawed. There is a weakness in there. And so today they are demanding that such constitution should be amended and to make it stand out. And so yeah, that is basically the importance of government, and we've looked at government in all the three forms, its importance, and I hope you have learned something. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe to this channel.